Why am I a Christian? What reason do I have to believe? To point to just one thing among many, I think the resurrection of Jesus from the dead, that is Him coming back to life again, is a credible historical fact. Firstly, you basically have to admit that there was a man called Jesus from Galilee who taught about God and did things that the people around him thought were miraculous. There's just too much evidence to deny this. There's heaps of things that are said in the Bible, and there are hundreds of ancient manuscripts of the stories of Jesus which show that the stories haven't changed and built up over time. There's archaeological evidence that corroborates the story, and there's also non-Christian evidence from ancient writers like Josephus and Tacitus. While there are certainly people who claim that Jesus never existed, that's a really tenuous position. Pastor and historian John Dixon has repeatedly put out the challenge around the world that he would eat a page out of his Bible if someone could find a professional historian working in a university who denied the existence of Jesus. And his Bible is still intact. Now, if you admit that Jesus lived, you'd have to admit that he died at some stage, otherwise he's still living here on earth. And again, because of the evidence, most historians would agree that Jesus was killed because of his opposition to the religious leaders in Jerusalem. He was crucified under the order of Governor Pontius Pilate. So there's little doubt about the Good Friday part of the story. But did Jesus rise from the dead? Since the details of the tomb are well documented, and Jesus was so revered by some people and hated by others, there is no way someone might have misplaced his body. Jesus' disciples claim to have found an empty tomb, and then subsequently they claim to have met with Jesus from the dead. The chief priests at the time agreed the tomb was empty, but they said the disciples had stolen the body. So there's certainly strong grounds to say that the tomb was empty, but there's differing accounts as to why. So did the disciples pull off the greatest hoax in history? Or is it just possible that one person actually broke the power of death? There are 5 details that make me lean towards the latter. 1. People found the burial garments in the tomb. Why would someone strip Jesus naked before moving his body? 2. The story makes the early Christian leaders look silly. In the Bible story, they're surprised and shocked that it's taken place. A few of them don't even believe it. They don't look like they're smart and savvy kind of people. They look like people who are fumbling and are just as shocked by the resurrection of Jesus as anybody else would have been. Number 3. Women are recorded as the first witnesses. But at the time, people didn't take women seriously as witnesses. If you wanted someone to believe your message and you were going to make it up, why would you make up that women were the first people to see him? 4. Jesus appeared to a lot of people at a lot of different times. People at the time would have checked out their stories. There were plenty of people to go and ask about what they'd seen, how it went down. You can't get away with making up a big story and involving a lot of people. If it was a lie, someone would have admitted it. And 5thly, the disciples died for telling people this news that Jesus was risen from the dead. Now, why would they die for a hoax? They sincerely believed it, and I think we can too. And so this is one of the big reasons that I believe in Christianity, because I believe that Jesus really has risen from the dead.